Thank you, Isaac, for that very interesting take on how COVID-19 is affecting our social world. We for sure will never take this for granted, and I assure you, we will never forget what strange times we are living in right now. Moving on, will be speaking to you about how this COVID-19 virus has affected our world of science. Corona has certainly put a spin on science and how we think of it. Before this pandemic, masks were reserved for doctors and movie scenes. But now you can't legally go to most places without one on. Today we'll be taking a few of the things that have revolutionized the science world, some for the good and some for the bad. We have a guest speaker today by the name of Abraham Burnham. Abraham is a recent college graduate out of Brigham Young University who is currently studying microbiology in North Carolina. We'll hear a lot more from him later. According to Scientific American's article, How COVID-19 is Changing Science, COVID can actually be a game changer as far as efficiency goes in the lab. Young scientists are learning how to work under pressure and with uncanny speed. After this pandemic, scientists will know how to keep the efficiency of the lab running at top level. Solutions to issues will be found much quicker and possibly shave about 1/3 of the resources that would have been required prior to COVID. According to another article called Unequal Effects of COVID-19 Pandemic on Scientists by Nature Human Behavior, COVID-19 is actually putting many scientists out of the lab. Most women with kids are forced to quit or to work less because of their children getting sick or being quarantined. You can see the different views that different companies and new articles have on if COVID is changing the way we do science for the better or for the worse. Next, we will hear a bit from our guest speaker, Abraham Burnham. So tell us exactly what it is you do. Awesome. So you have obviously been exposed to the environment of a real-life lab during this time. So can you tell me a little bit about how COVID has affected how a lab would normally be run? Great. Thank you so much for your time. So, from our sources, we can tell a couple of things. The lab will never be the same as it was before COVID-19. However, I think this is doing a lot of good things for our scientists. Mr. Burnham now has a very powerful resume because it isn't easy to work in a lab doing work that people want answers for ASAP. It's stressful and it builds character in a person who is successfully doing so. There are some things that may need to change. The pay decreases. This is not very convenient, but it isn't anyone's fault. People will for sure be more prepared for this next time, should there be a next time. Thank you for listening. Next, we will have Mark tell us a little more about this virus and its effects on society.